compared to Pakistan, like how do the women here, how would you say the women in the West are incorrectly dating man and betting man?
So the number one I teach my students and clients is you have to involve men. I don't care if your dad's not there, involve a pastor, involve it should be an elderly man. I'm not gonna say like like when I say elderly, I don't mean like 85. I mean it should be a man with experience. At least I would say at least 40 and up, because typically by the time a man is in his 40s, he's seen some things, he's experienced some things,
Mm,
and he has worldly experience, and he's not going to be, wedding the guy on how much swag he has or what his car is. Like, like my 19-year-old, mom, he drives, a cool car. He's not going to be doing that.
yeah.
He's going to be looking at deeply valuable skill sets that actually are helpful in a long-term union and marriage. So my dad used to say that that when, in our culture, when we buy a horse, we look at 7 generations back. So, that will give you the most like detailed look at someone's history. Because chances are that if his dad was, a provider, a protector, a man of integrity, and so was his dad, and so was his dad, like that's in their bloodline. That's how they've been conditioned. He's got a family reputation for, and then the other thing that is so cool is that your family supports you through that marriage. So, for example, I would never do this, but just giving you an example, like if I had a thing with my husband, like let's say we got into an argument. My parents aren't alive, but when they were, if I called them and if I said, "Oh my God, you can't believe what, Irfan said," they're not going to be egging me on. They're not like a lot of people here, a lot of my clients will call their friends and their friends will be, "Oh, he's such a loser. I never liked him for you. You're so much better than him." Your family doesn't do that. They know you, they know human relationships,
Yeah.
and they understand like these dynamics, and they might say, well, what did you say and how did you handle this? And
Yeah.
this happens sometimes in relationships, like this is something you're going to have to learn to communicate. Like there's accountability from both sides. And this is very controversial. People always get mad at when I say this, but I'm sorry. Shame is a very important component of society that we've had for millions of years. And people get mad at me when I say this, but we have shaming. Public shaming is like a real thing that's
Hmm.
still very much used. So let's say that, a woman's husband isn't doing right by her. Like, let's say that he isn't paying the bills, he's not taking care of her, and that's making her stressed, and she can't really be there for the kids. Okay, he's going to not only be shamed by her family, his own family will be shaming him and saying, "Oh my God, like what? No one's going to want to marry your sister now. Like now we're going to be the family that is known for, not being upstanding husbands, and now no one's going to want like there is such an element of accountability in my culture that you think a million times before you make decisions, and I think that that's an appropriate way to be. For example, I was shamed for getting divorced, and I believe that was a rightful thing because I should have been shamed. I chose poorly. I didn't listen to my parents, right? I didn't involve my brother and my dad on the decision. In fact, I went against their decision. And if I wasn't publicly shamed for that, my sisters, my cousins, everyone else would think, well, this is just the way that we live now. This is what we do. I would have allowed a lot of other people's relationships to be ruined. But me being shamed through that process helped me realize the value of choosing correctly, of sticking with your family, and how making bad decisions has consequences for your family too.